from the bottom. So you have Sa, Lim, Wu, Dongpu. So I am only going to disagree with one thing there. And I'll take
We can
away...
put Jinchul one more
Yes,
up.
I'm going to disagree with Jinchul being too low. Here, I'll put D because I think
I had him with Beck, and then I was like, I mean, now that Goto is here, we're never gonna use him. But sure.
Yeah, just again because we have to consider free-to-play players. Okay, so Dongpu, I agree, worst unit in the game. Lim, I agree. Sa, I agree. This is very, very good. I think these are perfect. Okay, Wu's one more up. Yeah, I agree. Wu
one more up is fine. Yeah.
Okay, so Wu or Beck? So who do you have next on your list? Let me see. So you have Emma, Beck, and Anna. So again, we'll keep Anna out of this because I agree Anna is up there. So Wu's here now, Emma and Beck. So who do you think is better, Emma or Wu? Now that we have Essel.
You'd probably use Emma more than Wu. Like, let's say you have all of them, you'd still use, Emma more. And then between Beck and him...
I think Beck's a bit better, only because Beck is somewhat usable.
Beck has Def Down. You can use him in like alternative pod and guild boss teams.
Yeah, fair enough. I agree with that. Okay, so we'll go there. Okay, is there anybody else on this list here that I think should go there? Hold on. Let me go back to yours. What do you have above? I honestly feel like Akari should go here.
I had the debate with myself the other day too.
Yeah, I
did the tier list yesterday, I think it was. I was like, maybe Akari goes down because she's so bad.
She's so bad, and you need A5 to really make her function. Like, it's really, really bad.
I think the only reason I had her here is because if you don't have Fire Team for Guild Boss, she has her place, because like buff Thomas, all that stuff.
Yeah. But I find Min to be an okay substitute, personally. But
for Hunter fights, if you use your Hunters yourself, so like you do, like for example, Deimos, you're never using Akari. Like Min is way better.
Yeah. So do you agree putting her in C then?
Sure. Okay. She would be the best one though.
Yeah, she'd be the best one. I agree. I should definitely go here. Okay. Who do you have here? So Alicia, SM. Oh, this is tough. Okay. Now let me ask you this question. We know, like, you've even done a simulation with SM Beck recently.
Oh yeah, he went up because of this.
Okay.
The only reason he's not like higher is just that good tier is filled with units that could be higher if there was content for them.
If there was content for them, that's fair. But let's just assume there is content for them, right?
I mean, if there's content for them, it's biased because realistically, if there's a new water content that comes out, there's no way they don't release a new water.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Okay, I agree with that. All right, so we'll do this.
Like, I don't see Alicia being irrelevant anytime soon, like ever. I think she's just gonna be like the bait. You know, there's this pack in the shop for her.
I saw that.
That's the biggest
bait. That's 100%.
Like, they want people to buy it and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna use it for the next thing, but for the next thing is gonna be like a new water DPS, 100%. Yeah,
no, I agree. Because I think that's exactly what it is. It's because of that Cha that's coming and Soren that's coming. That's what they want. They want Soren's gonna buff Alicia a little bit, and then all of a sudden the new Cha's gonna come out.
People are gonna invest
100%.
It's gonna do just like Essel did with Suhyun.
Yeah, I agree. Okay,
but not as good, because Suhyun is way better like than Alicia.
Yeah, no, I agree. Okay, so I'm okay with this. I still think SM Beck deserves a little bit more love and goes up here. Only because I think is the best dark DPS in the game right now.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Okay, hold on. Let me see your list here.
Yeah, every Charlotte lover hated me for saying this.
No, and you know what? Like, the problem was SM Beck didn't get that buff until after Charlotte came out, right? So everyone already had invested in Charlotte because she was the best DPS, and then all of a sudden the next patch they brought out that buff, and now SM Beck is equal or better.
Kind of crazy.
So, yeah,
and now with the buff of Berserker too.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
You get 60% all the time. 60% damage increase.
And his shield is fucking huge. Like, he's got a massive shield. So
yeah, you don't even have to dodge that much.
Yeah, exactly. If you have another shielder, it's crazy too. Icy saying I don't like dark. On paper, Alicia is one of the most broken units. I agree on paper. The problem is, you know where Alicia falls, even as a unit, is the fact that she can't freeze bosses.
Yeah, I think that's so bad.
I think that's so bad, and it's crazy because they allow Bestie now as a shadow to freeze everything. So they need to somehow revamp that aspect of her. Yeah. So she was freezing all the bosses on Deimos for me when I was doing a hard mode. Like, literally everything was being frozen. That's crazy. I'm like, you give a shadow that ability, but a hunter can't do it. So Okay, so let's go with this. Where's your next list? Let's see. You have Choi, Lee Bora.
Then I have like a bunch of supports because I don't see myself putting supports in excellent/broken because usually you don't build a team around them. And then there's Cha, which is replaced by Thomas, and Goto because I really don't think he's that great. Like his best ability for me is his support skill.
Even though he's the best breaker in the game right now?
Yeah, but okay. The thing about best breaker is always depends on the boss. Like I don't feel this is like a correct way of seeing a hunter because if the boss is not wind, he can be the best fucking breaker ever, like released. Doesn't matter. You're not gonna use him.
Yeah, Goto's interesting. Because I also like the fact that he does so much crit damage increase, and he can also give that third party member the 24% damage increase.
Also, I would even argue that SL is like the best breaker in the game, like better than Goto.
Yeah, I agree
in terms of breaking ability, but like in terms of
support,
the hunter itself.
Yeah, the prey of the week or whatever, that buff is insane, right? So yeah, like that's probably the best buff in the game. I agree with that. Yeah, okay, let's go back to your list. Hold on. Let's see what you got. Okay, so Choi, I agree on very good. I'm okay with that. I think obviously more useful than SMBek. Lee Bora. I think Lee Bora has more or less value. Actually, I don't know about that one. So why did you put Lee Bora under A? Is it because her abilities for BOT, Pod, and Guild Boss?
I feel like she's just the same as Choi.
Same as Choi, yeah. She has the exact same functions, yeah.
Like exact same as Choi, and realistically, anything that's unless it's BOT because you need to clear a few mob waves. I don't think you use her ever. Like when you play yourself, you never use her.
No, but I do use her in BOT though, like Battlefield of Time, quite
like
a bit.
Challenge one,
challenges and regular ones. Like I've used her before as a supplement for units I don't have. For example, I don't have Isla, right? So I use her as my supplement.
There's a support skill. Fair enough.
Yeah, so I think she might be a little bit better than Choi because she's used in more content than him. So I would do this here instead.
But I don't know if that like I don't know if it's actually enough to put one tier above.
No, I would keep her in the same tier, but just above Choi.
Yeah. Oh, sure, that's fine. Yeah.
I think that's fair. Okay, so these three I have a problem with. So Cha, because the fact that people can still beat hard mode Deimos using Cha over Thomas, for me, is crazy. And the fact that she's still an OG unit that can still dominate, I still think she's an S unit, personally.
Yeah, I can see it.
You know? I think also Min, because he's universal and he can make any team function, is also an S. And I think the same thing about Meilin. Those three, for me, are like top tier units. I would put Goto up here as well, but I think, and you can argue this obviously after, I think Hansimi definitely deserves to go right about here. So I'm curious to hear what you have to say about this. And I'm curious what the chat has to say, because I think this is important. And obviously, GOHACK, you finish all content. You're a very smart player. You know how to play this game really well. So let's hear your take on this, and I'll give mine after.
Can you hear me? I think I cut out.
You did cut out, yeah.
So for Cha, I just like Cha is fine. Just for the Deimos part, like I can give you that. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Meilin, I can't. Like no way. Like having Min up here because he's universal, sure. But even then, I don't even agree that much with it because there's a lot of teams that wouldn't really benefit. Like for example, his gauge like increase thing. Mm-hmm. There's some teams you don't really care about it.
But what about his A1, which gives everybody crit rate and crit damage?
That's great. So I could give him S just for this. Like, and if you take it as a whole analysis of the game, like even early game and shit, that's fine. Yeah, Meilin, there's no way. Meilin, there's no way.
I don't know, man. I feel like Meilin's huge.
No way.
Okay, so for example, so
just for the fact she gives attack. Any team that doesn't skill off attack doesn't use Meilin ever.
Well, no, that's not true, because she also gives defense to defense teams. She gives core attack to Gunhee and Thomas, which is huge for them. So her core attacks is massive for them. And also the fact that she also boosts the ultimate damage that gives Gunhi Almighty Break a lot more often, plus his ultimate more often. She also increases crit rate and as well too. So I think that's pretty big. Like for core teams, she's massive, and a lot of the teams nowadays are using core, like a lot of core, right? Like my Gun-He team, for example, sometimes I replace Min for Meilin, and they do better because of that core attack bonus and defense. Right?
Even though she doesn't give she gives attack, right? So.
But she gives defense as well.
True.
Right? So she's making defensive teams much better. Like that defense is pretty big. And then that also stacks 3 times. So you're getting, 24% defense increase. You're getting 64% core attack. You're also getting, here she increases all team members' attack and defense by 8%. So you're now getting 32% for sure. And now you're also increasing power gauge, which is going to help Gun-He and whoever else, herself. And then you're also getting more defense, 16% at A5, and then critical hit rate at A5, and then more core attack and damage decrease. And she can remove shields, right? So I think this is huge. I think she's 100% deserves to be S tier. I think she's better than Min, quite honestly, at A5. And her weapon is crazy too, decreasing the whole power gauge and also increasing attack. So I think she deserves us. Okay, perfect. So, okay, I'm glad we agreed there. Now this is the most controversial unit right now in the game, Goto. You had him at A.
He goes down 1.
Okay, hold on. Before you say that, can we reassess his whole kit before we say that one more time? Because I think he deserves a little bit more love that people are giving him. I know people don't like him as a character. I get it because he's a fucking douchebag. But then why do you like Zaf? So I don't understand. Okay, hold on. Let me go here. Let's go to Goto. Okay, where is his passives? Okay, passives. Let's go through each one. I think he deserves a little bit of attention. All right, so first off, his basic skill, obviously, MP recovery for himself. The user's critical rate and crit damage increases after 5 stacks, and he gives everybody in the win team that bonus. Okay, so that's huge. 20% for critical hit damage, basic attack increase by 20%. I think that's massive. That's an A0.
Win team is great, sure.
But hold on. Win team is great. I think also, though, if you look at it, the Tyrant's Path here increases damage dealt to targets in the break state by 12% infinite times. Isn't that crazy for an enemy who has multiple break gauges? Such as Deimos, for example, right? The last Deimos boss has you're never going to use him at Deimos. The bad example, obviously. But I'm just saying, having multiple break gauges, this is a big, POD, this is huge.
Yeah.
Right?
I just feel like I took the thing where you don't use wind ever. Except Simulation Gate, because he just came out, right?
Fair. But you have to also remember this tier list has to accompany for new players as well. So if you're going to be fighting Baron, right? Who's going to be the breaker you're going to use now?
Yeah,
right? Right? And it sucks to take away POS for Baron, but most people who are 90% of players, believe it or not, are still on Baron. Most people can't touch Deimos. It's pretty crazy how us hardcore players are so far ahead, and 90% of the population is still on Baron doing normal mode and stuck.
Yeah, I don't think I fathomed that.
No, and it's crazy, right? Because we just celebrated 60 million players just recently.
I think that's fake.
No, 100% that's fake. 100%. I think what they're doing is they're probably taking the accumulative amount of people that downloaded the game, right?
Sure, some people download the game 3 times every day because they can't get their shit to work.
For sure. And there's a lot of alts and stuff, right? But I think when you tell somebody to build a team right now that's new, you're going to tell them most likely that you're going to build a win team to be safe. That's what I tell people. I say build a win team and then build a fire team. That should be your 1 and 2, or build a light team, whatever, right? But when you build a win team, like you said, you're not going to go for Wu now because Goto's out. Right? So, and if you look at the damage he's putting out and his A4, I think his A4, the fact that it increases the amount of damage that unit does by 24%, I think that's huge. So, and not to mention the amount of damage he does. I think personally, it's worth having him in S, just because when it comes down to overall DPS, when it comes down to overall support, and obviously the breaker you're going to use, it's going to be Goto for win. And right now, he is the go-to unit for new players. That's just my take on it.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what we'll do? You go with yours. Let's just leave it to chat. I'm gonna leave it to chat. Let's just say what they say. Where does Goto belong? Let's just see what they say. Oh yeah, and his support skill. Support skill is massive.
The support skill is like the best support.
Yeah, the best skill in the game. Period. Yeah, it's 100%. Where does Goto Ryuji belong? Oh, yeah, make sure I spell that correctly.
I mean, sure. If Meilin is up there, you have to put Goto.
Okay, perfect. I think chat will agree, anyways. Yeah, no, Isu, you're right. His support skill is by far the best support skill in the game, for sure. Okay, so we're agreeing on that. Perfect. Now, let's see who's left. There's still a lot of people left. I think we still have a lot of units. Now, this is where I was talking about. This is why things get top heavy, right? Once you start having these conversations, you start to realize, oh shit, there's actually quite a few units that might be top heavy. So
if you take the whole aspect of the game, yeah.
That's exactly my point, right? When you start looking at the aspect of the game and how important elements are to the game, and how important.
I still think though that I would rather have top heavy in S than in SS, because yours is really clogged in SS, like the top one, right? Okay. So it really looks like all of those units are top tier, right? Yeah. Like I would rather have a heavy in like the second best, which means they're all good, but they're not like the best ones.
Okay, so let's go with the rest that's left then. Okay, so you said Gun He was here. I think Gun He's here. You don't have a light team without Gun He. If I build any light team, Gun He is my number one choice first, before I pick Thomas or Cha even. Because I have a choice between Thomas and Cha. I don't have a choice with Gun He. There's nobody else that can break. Like, who the fuck are you gonna use? Like,
well, you know, realistically, if you start from scratch, you don't really have a choice between Cha and Thomas.
What do you mean? Like, why don't you have a choice? Because they give free Chas away.
Technically, if you start from scratch, right, you'd go Thomas anytime.
Would you? Because here's the reason why I'm asking you this. When you start new, the formidable combatant gives you 2 free Chas, and her weapon.
I mean, if you start the game now, you don't even go for Thomas anyways.
Yeah, that's what I mean, right? So wouldn't you say though?
I wouldn't go for Gun He either though. Like if I start the game right now, I don't go for light team at all. No way.
So who would you go for? Win team?
Fire.
But you can't though, because you can, but
I don't go for Kanae as a new player.
No, you go for Yusuyon.
Worst.
Yeah, you go for
she's
Yusuyon.
The worst.
Yeah. No, you go for Yusuyon. I agree with that. So if you build a fire team as a new player, and I'm going to ask you this, and I'm going to be real with you. First off, most people play on mobile, right? Some people, actually, I don't know if that's true. Let's just say it's 50-50. The biggest issue I have with the fire team, and this is by far the biggest issue, and I think this is going to affect a lot of people, is the fire team is the squishiest team in the game. 2 hits, they're dead.
I think dodge.
Yeah, I get that. I'm just saying, we talked about this. Most people are on bronze still, right? Most players are not that good at this game. This is their first gacha. They don't know.
There's like, you can't make a tier list because people don't know how to play a game.
No, I agree. Like,
I
agree with
that doesn't work.
No. So I'm not. This is what I'm saying though. I'm looking at safety.
You can make it because people are free to play. That's fine because that's an aspect of the game. Being bad at the game is not like an aspect of it. It's just your problem.
For sure. So there's a point I'm making though with this, right? I'm not saying that people are bad and that should affect the tier list. What I'm saying though is the safety behind having a team that can clear everything. For example, you know how the story mode takes 0 hits from an opponent, for 32 times. The best team for that can clear trophies and get you the safest way to end game content is the light team. Because light team can finish Vulcan, light team can finish Baron, light team can finish Deimos. All 3 of those content that's end game content, light team can finish. You can't say the same about wind. You can't necessarily say the same about fire, because fire has a really hard time with hard mode Baron. And you can't say the same about water.
What?
Yeah, believe it or not.
Fire melts, Baron.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is you have to remember free to play as well in this, right? Not everyone's going to have A5 everything. I'm just talking about like A3, A4, etc. So if you're looking at safety in terms of finishing all game content, I think light has the best chance for newest players, free to play players, and some dolphins to finish content. Right? Am I wrong?
Dolphin though.
So dolphin is somebody who spends $500 in this game.
A month?
No. 500 period. That's a dolphin. Period. No, 500 a month. You're a fucking whale. At that point,
you?
Oh yeah, 100%. You're a GOHACK. You're a whale, bro. You're probably beyond a whale. Yeah, like I think the way it works.
I'm talking about me. I'm like,
Oh, okay.
500 period is like, because it depends. 500 period, if it's your first month, and if it's 10 months in, that's different, right?
No,
like,
for sure.
In my opinion, if you spend 500 over 10 months, you're like barely spending.
Yeah. So again, I think
that's
the main
50 a month. That's light spending, right?
Yeah, it's light spending, 100%. I agree with you. Fire team is the best team in the game. There's zero question about that. And I made a fire team to show that example. I made a brand new account. I finished the entire content with fire team. But again, I was a dolphin back then. Could I do the same? Could I do the same with an A3 Essel, A3 Gina, A3 Yusayu? No. Will Thomas A3, Min A3, Gunhee A3 work better? Yes. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, what units?
Would it?
Yeah, 100%. Because you get Almighty Break from Gunhee, Thomas gets most of his buffs that you need, and Min, you get your A1 bonus for crit and crit damage. So you're pretty much getting everything you need. So I think at this point, Light Team is still the safest bet to finish all content. Versus if you're a pay to win player, Fire Team by far will take you the furthest. Fucking takes you to the moon right now. But I think when it comes down to like considering all players, I think Light Team is still the most quote unquote safe bet. So hence why I think Gunhee deserves to be up here. You know what we'll do? I'll leave it here. I'll take yours and I'll leave it here. We'll do another poll. So everybody says that Goto deserves to be S. We're okay with that.
I'm pretty sure A3 Fire destroys A3 Light, to be honest.
Does it? For Breaker?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I agree Essel's SS. I'm not going to argue with that. I think Essel's the best Breaker in the game. Right? Here, let's see. Hold on a sec. Start a poll. Let's go. Gunhee. Rank. I'm just curious what people think. This is going to be, I think, very divided, but I'll leave it there for now, and we'll go with that one for now. Okay, let's go with your next one. Who else do we have on the list? You have Isla, Mireille, and Gina. Okay, so Gina, I agree with you. I agree with you fully. I think we've had that chat. So Gina goes here. Gina over Meilin, we said?
Well, not really, because if Meilin has like flexibility and Gina doesn't, so
right.
I guess
so
not.
right there. Okay, I'll put her over Min. Who else did you have? Isla. Okay, so this is the only one I'm going to argue a little bit. I think Isla deserves to be top tier, but I'll let you decide on that one because this is comparing to yours. We think she's the best unit support in the game, right? I think we agree on that.
I used to have her in Broken back then.
Okay,
but I feel like you don't build a team around her anyways. Like, I used to have her because she was that good of a support and like she could carry any team. But like going back, if you don't have her A5 or at least A3, first of all, you're not using her.
Right. And drop.
And I still feel like, yeah, I don't know. She wouldn't carry, like you're not building a team around her. And Dark is just bad overall. And she gives defense, like she gives defense, right?
He does. Yeah, she's defense spec, yeah.
So like if you use an attack scaling team, she's not that good, and her weapon is cool, but it's not the best.
Yeah,
I still have a problem with Min. I think
you want to drop Min. Okay, Kez just donated $5 because he wants to drop Min down one. Okay, you know what? I'll drop Min down one.
Oh yeah, I didn't even see it.
I don't agree with Min dropping one because I'll be honest with you guys. Ever since I got Min on my free to play, I've been able to finish all content. That's just my take. And the reason why I think it's so powerful, and a lot of people forget this about Min, is the fact that his weapon at A5 gives 16% damage increase for 16 seconds. And his A5 also boosts the ultimate damage insanely. What is it? 50% more, right?
Yeah, but some units don't use that much. Like, if let's say you build Fire tomorrow, and like Fire no Kanai, right?
Yeah.
That ult boost is like irrelevant.
That's
Yusuf Ult is ass.
But that's one example. Can you give more examples where nobody uses ult? Because I think Chai uses ult.
Wind.
Okay, yeah, Wind's a good example, but Wind also uses damage increase though, right? So and that's not a bad thing to have for his.
I mean, you would just use someone else though. Like you would use Isla. Isla for Wind is.
Let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this for Wind, for example. If you look at his Heavenly Blessing buff, right? And we're talking about just regular content where he can use Disguise. He gives damage increase plus crit hit rate by 12%, and then he also gives 40% of his critical hit damage to Mireille. Isn't that pretty big? I also think
crit hit rate is useless for Mireille because she just stacks it up herself. Yeah, she's at 90% herself.
What for crit rate or crit damage?
Rate. Yeah. Crit
Okay,
rate.
but I'm thinking of crit damage as well because he also gives the 40% of his crit damage to the highest unit.
I like
right?
gives that too, no? I like gives what?
I think so.
12?
I think Isla gives something. I don't have Isla on this account.
I would still use Isla over it, I think.
No, I agree. I think Isla's way better, 100%. I think Isla's way better. But Isla, like, I'm not even arguing that. I think Isla's the best support in the game, period. Okay, so we'll drop Min down one, guys. I won't argue that one. Okay, so are you satisfied with what's up here? Do you think somebody else? Oh, you put Mireille up here. That was interesting. I think Mireille is definitely top tier, for sure. Because again, you really don't have a win team without Mireille. Like, she is literally the only unit that can carry win team.
Yeah, but right now you don't. Again, if you take Baron, sure.
And also simulation right now, right? Because you're not really beating simulation without Mireille. I mean, you are.
Oh, you are.
No, I apologize. I meant as a win team.
I mean, I almost like I'm gonna do it with like even water team, I think.
Yeah. So I mean as a win team though. I'm not talking about as a I know you can beat it with dark, fire, etc. I know all these teams can do it, but I think Mireille for sure deserves SS because I think if you have her maxed out close to the top max DPS right now, the only person that's beating her in DPS is Kanae.
Yeah.
Right. So I think she deserves
on like if you take a whole fight period like 3 minutes, sure.
Yeah.
I think on a burst for burst like Thomas would still be better probably.
Yeah. Oh, you know who I'm missing? Sorry, I just realized.
If you take like a 30 seconds window of like burst damage.
You think Thomas is beating her in burst damage? I don't know about that because Thomas's biggest burst damage comes from his ult when he's in his ult form. So if you don't have his ult, yeah, I guess. But she also has like, pretty much
like you take a 30 seconds like window, and Thomas, you just use both skills. You ult, you get into your ult form, both skills ult and both skills again. I think that's more than what Mireille could do.
Yeah, maybe. I guess it also depends on the team you have around them, right? If you
just let's say the individual, the best light team and the best
win team
and the best win team.
Yeah, I don't know. I with Goto's new 24% damage increase, I don't know which one will work better.
Hansimi was there already.
Was she? Where's she?
I think.
No, like she's up there. Okay. She's right there. Okay. Yeah. So I thought I missed her. Sorry. All right, so we'll leave that as is. Thomas doesn't use expert, but Thomas does use outstanding ability. Outstanding ability right now, in my opinion, is actually more valuable. Better. Yeah, is more valuable nowadays. So, okay. Okay, I'm gonna leave her here for now. We'll go back to this one. So the rest of them you have, I agree with you. Yusayun, Thomas, Essel, Kanae. Now, question: does Kanae deserve her own tier?
With how the tier list is looking, probably.
Okay, so we'll go one above. So I'll put this one as this image.
Because seeing how we put so much in S. Right, like the addition of Meilin, Chad, all that stuff, right? Even Goto. I feel like you need like one more tier then.
Okay, so what?
You probably put Kanae and Yusuhyun in there.
You want to put Yusuhyun in here as well?
Both of them, yeah.
So this.
Not Essel, Yusuhyun. Like you can put Essel one back down.
One down. Okay.
Yeah.
So like
I
this.
don't know. I'm thinking about it.
Fire deserves their own tier. Someone said Fire deserves. Anonymous saying Fire deserves their own tier. I agree. Fire deserves their own tier. I agree. Like
I think Thomas goes. I think Thomas goes back with Mireille for sure, and then Essel can go one up.
Kind of like that. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's way better.
Yeah. This was my original one. Okay, so let's ask everybody if they agree with this. Let me end this right here. Let's see.
Yeah, that looks fine. I wouldn't like seeing like. I don't know. Seeing Cha, Goto, Meilin, like all those next to like the best tier. You know what? Now that you did this, you can probably put Isla one up.
Isla one up? Okay, hold on.
Probably.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's Isla one up. Okay, like that.
Yeah, Isla one up.
That makes more sense. Yeah, I agree with that.
With the extra tier for sure. 100%.
I'm not dropping Cha to A. She's way.
No. Cha is great there. Cha in the third best
slot makes more than enough sense. She can beat hard mode Deimos, guys. She beat hard mode Deimos at top 3,000. Like you can't take that away from her. Not a lot of units can do that.
See. if you take this tier list and like look at it, I think you have a way more understanding of how the game actually works and like how the dynamics between the hunters than if you watch like your two clogged top tiers, right?
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so here's a question for you, and Latoya makes a great point. I think the only thing that brought for me as well, and I agree with this a little bit, is that Essel's real only function is with break bar units, right?
That's any boss.
Not really. Not every boss has a break bar. Like take simulation for example. Only half the bosses have break bars, or if you do like
the important ones have one though.
Yeah, the important ones do. Yeah, I guess. But even like Guild Boss I guess has that little mini break bar, so that kind of counts as well. I guess there's mini break bars. Yeah, I know, Rudik. I know you love your Choi. I know. Choi is questionable.
I don't think it is.
I think
if you question Choi, you question Libora and Min.
Well, exactly.
And then you never end.
And the only reason why Choi is questionable is I know you can beat content with him, but would you choose Kanae or would you choose Choi over Kanae and Yusuke?
Yeah, the thing is he's the third best fire DPS now,
exactly.
Not even the second.
Exactly. So it's interesting here. We have 66% of people that agree, and we have 35% of people that don't, or 65-35. So I'm curious to know where people don't agree with this tier list, because I think this is the most accurate tier list you're going to see in quite some time. Thomas tier E. See, like shit like that is what I don't like. SVJ. Okay, so let's hear. Choi is shit, but his weapon is crazy. Yeah, and this is why he gets the love that he gets, right? Like, technically, Lee Bora is not that great, but her charm and her weapon makes her good, right? So there are certain aspects of characters.
Like, remove the weapon from Choi, he goes back in D.
100%. If Choi's weapon is gone,
he puts fries in the bag.
Yeah,
without his weapon.
Bro, don't make him work at McDonald's like that, okay? That's not nice. No, I agree. I agree with GOHACK on that one. I was just saying that you said Cha can beat. Yeah, Rudik, no, I agree. Cha can beat. So the thing is though, when you take Cha and Choi, right? So the comparison is what Rudik is saying is, yeah, you can beat hard mode Baron with Choi, and you can beat it with Cha. So why is one higher than the other? Personally, because of a couple things. Cha, first off, overall is more consistent. For damage, you can see that in Guild Boss and any other content. And number two, she also provides you that crazy debuff branded and unrecoverable, which is nobody else in the game has except for Yusuyun, I think, right? So I think
Yusuyun is not even unrecoverable. She puts down 80% of the 80%, healing.
Yeah, it's something like that, right?
Yeah.
So there is definitely more value for Cha in terms of what she brings to the table. I know you love. I know, and Choi is a lot harder to play in my opinion than Cha. Cha's just fucking one button and you spam.
And I mean, realistically, you probably need less investment in Cha than you need in Choi.
100%, way less investment. Yeah, I agree. Thomas is so weak. Thomas is not weak, guys. Come on. The reason why people
I hate Thomas. Like, I am the best Thomas hater, and I still think he's great.
Yeah, like I think.
And I hate him so bad.
Why do you hate him?
Okay, first of all, I have the Manhwa bias where I just hate his design and how he is.
Okay.
Like, I think he was just, I don't like him, and just I don't like the gameplay. Like, Light Team is the most dog shit team to use.
Really? Oh, it's my fucking favorite team.
It's just. Oh, I have a shield, so I don't need to dodge. I don't need to be good at the game. I can just say ooga booga and I hit him. I hate it so bad.
Oh my god. Okay, hold on.
I hate it.
Hold on. Okay, so I just want to make... So Ice saying Thomas is weak as fuck. He can't even do 10% on POS 10. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's hard to say that Thomas is weak because he can't do a specific gimmick that Netmarble set up specifically for the fire team. I think that's unfair, right? Because they manipulated the POS, the whole thing to be for fire. They manipulated it. Like,
yeah, obviously. So I mean, that's just basic gacha logic, though.
Yeah, it's exactly. So you can't take away the fact that Thomas himself is huge, right? Like he's the best, second best, third best DPS in the game. So I mean, it's really hard to say, hey, because let's just say defense penetration wasn't a thing in POS. Light Team would have dominated just as much as Fire Team. So I think that's pretty important to look at. So I don't know, guys. Go ahead.
As a standalone hunter, he's the best. Like if you were to use just one hunter for something, you would use him.
Yeah, for sure. Because he would finish all content. He has everything you need. Survivability, DPS, ultimate on a non-stop basis. But again, we don't do that, unfortunately, right? That's not.
No, we don't do that. But like it's good to like point it out because people just say he's ass. For example, I think Thomas' biggest problem is his team.